This adventure-filled story begins with two siblings, Mimi and Jack. They were playing a game in the garden near their home, where the loser would be buried alive in a pit. The brother and sister were having a great time. In fact, they jokingly dug a small hole that they were making deeper. However, they had no idea that this was going to put the whole world in danger. While digging, Jack suddenly noticed something that looked like a crystal. After removing a little more dirt, they realized it was a grave that had been there for years. On top of the grave was a small red crystal, which Mimi took out. Although they thought there was nothing inside, as soon as they removed the crystal, sounds began coming from inside the coffin, and the ground started shaking violently. Mimi and Jack were extremely scared, so they quickly climbed out of the hole. They were confused and had no idea what was happening. Just then, their mother called them for dinner. Without mentioning anything about their discovery, they returned home. But little did they know that they had made the biggest mistake of their lives. Now, the monster that had been sleeping in that coffin for years was freed and began to pull its hand out. This creature was so dangerous that its entire body was radioactive. It emerged from its coffin and moved in another direction. The creature reached an abandoned factory where 3 thieves were present. Initially, the 3 thieves mistook the creature for a human and told it to leave. But as soon as the creature appeared before them, it realized that these were all humans, its greatest enemies. Therefore, the creature used its internal powers and summoned 2 of the thieves into the air with natural force. The 2 thieves were shocked and couldn't even move their bodies. With great anger, the creature grabbed both of them by the throat and said, "Your human skin is so delicate." In the next moment, the creature decapitated both thieves. The creature also attacked the 3rd thief, but he survived. The 3rd thief was continuously pleading, "Please don't kill me." Upon hearing this, the creature stopped right there. He says, "All right, I won't kill you, but you will live like a zombie, suffering greatly." The creature continuously passed electricity through the thief's body, paralyzing him completely. In the morning, Jack and Mimi's parents came to the garden area and couldn't understand how such a deep hole had formed. Jack and Mimi were shocked to see that a coffin used to be there. They wondered where it had gone. At night, Jack and Mimi secretly came back to the pit and noticed that there were footprints leading into the woods. These were the footprints of the dangerous creature. So, Jack and Mimi followed the footprints until they reached the factory where the creature had killed the 3 thieves. Although Jack felt a little scared, Mimi told him there was no reason to be afraid and that they could go inside to take a look. As soon as they entered, they found the 3rd thief, whose body was completely paralyzed but still alive. He was mumbling something in front of the children. Seeing his condition frightened Mimi and Jack a little. Sensing their fear, the dangerous creature appeared before them. The creature understood that these might be smaller humans, so it moved forward to attack Jack and Mimi. However, Mimi was not afraid of the creature at all. When the creature saw the red diamond in Mimi's hand, it was completely shocked. The thing was that as long as the red diamond was with someone, the creature would follow all the commands given by its master, meaning that whatever Mimi said, the creature would have to obey. The creature, in its anger, tried to scare Mimi and Jack to get the red diamond, but Mimi, being both brave and clever, understood that she could control the creature because of the red diamond. On the other hand, Jack was extremely scared. In a moment of panic, he accidentally shoved the 3rd thief, causing him to fall and die completely. Because of all this, the creature was getting very angry. He was so powerful, yet he was obeying the commands of these 2 small children. At that moment, Mimi said, "You must follow what we say." This was the creature's helplessness. Mimi first commanded the creature to lift her brother into the air and spin him around. The creature, out of necessity, used its powers to lift Jack and started spinning him around. Mimi realized that this creature had a lot of powers. Now, Mimi asked the creature for its name. The creature gave a very long name, so Mimi decided to call it Psychogarm, meaning she would refer to it as PG for short. PG was very angry because he was following the words of these humans. So, he decided that once the children left, he would escape from there as well. However, Mimi, who had the red diamond, said, "You must not leave the factory until we return." This thwarted PG's entire plan. Although Mimi and Jack left, PG had to stay there due to the command he received. Now, the scene shifts to an unknown planet in another galaxy where many aliens were gathered for a meeting. These aliens were responsible for protecting different planets and maintaining peace all around. The shocking thing was that these advanced aliens had captured PG on Earth many years ago, but now they had learned that PG had freed himself. They realized that they had to kill PG at any cost. The aliens ordered one of their brave warriors to go to Earth and take PG's life. This warrior was very dangerous, and her entire body was made up of a white structure. However, she couldn't go to Earth in this form because people would be terrified upon seeing her. So, the warrior used her powers to teleport a woman from Earth to their location, killed her, and trapped her in a cube before destroying her. The warrior applied the lady's blood and DNA to her mouth, taking on her form. Now, the warrior set off towards Earth to eliminate PG. Meanwhile, Mimi and Jack were taking a friend with them to the factory to introduce him to PG. Mimi had brought several books for PG, and Jack had brought a television so that PG wouldn't be bored while they were there. The three of them entered the factory, where PG was sitting all alone and looking very sad. Mimi approached PG and asked, "Who are you? And what is your purpose for being here?" PG was quite angry about everything, but since it was Mimi's order, he started to explain. He said, "The most dangerous aliens in the universe had imprisoned me and forced me into slavery. But one day, I found a powerful crystal that significantly increased my powers, and I became completely connected to it. Using this unlimited power, PG began to eliminate those who had mistreated him. He built a massive army and started to destroy planets everywhere. PG wanted to bring the entire universe under his control, but some supreme aliens banded together and imprisoned PG in a box, leaving him on Earth. For thousands of years, PG had been hidden deep within the Earth." Listening to PG's story, Mimi and Jack felt a little upset because, in a way, they felt sorry for PG. So, Mimi ordered PG to stay there and enjoy the books and television. PG had to obey these commands because Mimi had given them to him. The three children quickly left, but PG had a brilliant idea. Using the television in front of him, he figured out a way to contact the people of his planet and got busy sending them a message. Meanwhile, Jack was busy playing video games with his other friend, but Mimi, who was now alone, was feeling very bored. So now, holding the red crystal in his hand, he summoned PG to that place. PG arrived, breaking everything in sight. Jack and his friend also came out, frightened by PG's presence. Jack's friend told Mimi that she was crazy for bringing PG here. Mimi got really angry at Jack's friend. So, she ordered PG to convert Jack's friend into a big brain. Jack's friend was transformed into a large brain that looked very dangerous. At that moment, Mimi's mom and dad arrived, hearing all the commotion, and they tried to take Mimi away from the creature. However, Mimi was explaining to her parents that there was no need to be afraid of this creature because she was in control of it. Whatever she said, PG would do accordingly. After hearing this, Mimi's parents relaxed a bit, and seeing PG's polite behavior, they invited him into their home. The whole family was having a great time, and PG was experiencing joy for the first time. He was dancing and singing with them, sharing good moments. In a very short time, PG had formed a strong bond with Mimi, Jack, and their family. PG even started wandering around the city openly because everyone thought he was just a human in a costume. Wherever Mimi and Jack went, PG followed them, but only PG knew how angry he was inside because he was doing all this out of necessity. He just needed one opportunity to somehow take the red diamond from Mimi and escape back to his planet. Suddenly, PG entered Jack's dreams with the help of his powers, telling him, "You must get that red diamond from your sister at any cost because it will set me free, and you won't be able to follow your sister's orders." Jack replied, "This plan sounds good, but I can't betray my sister. No matter what, she is my sister." The next day, Jack and Mimi were playing ball at a nearby place. During this time, Mimi had taught PG about human living and even how to wear their clothes. But suddenly, A police car arrived at the scene and 2 officers got out, continuously firing at PG. However, the bullets had no effect on PG because his body was incredibly strong. Using his powers, PG grabbed one of the officer's hands and killed him, transforming him into a dangerous creature. He didn't kill the second officer, allowing him to live and warn others that PG had arrived, hoping to instill fear in everyone. Unfortunately, when the second officer returned to the police station and told everyone, nobody believed him because his story sounded absurd to them. Meanwhile, Jack, Mimi, and PG continued walking through the forest when a group of PG's former comrades suddenly teleported in front of them. These were the same allies PG had summoned through the television. PG was once their leader, so he ordered them to take the red stone from Mimi and give it to him. But it was soon revealed that PG's comrades had turned against him. When PG was imprisoned, they were freed and had been living a relaxed life ever since. They no longer wanted to follow anyone's orders. PG was furious and prepared to attack his former teammates, but Mimi, using the power of the red stone, ordered him not to harm anyone. Because of this command, PG couldn't attack his friends. Mimi was angry because PG had tried to kill them, and she decided not to revoke her order until PG apologized to her. PG's former comrades, in the meantime, began attacking him because they didn't want him to survive and become their leader again using his powers. Even though PG pleaded with Mimi to allow him to fight back, she refused to give the order. Severely injured, PG finally apologized to Mimi, and only then did she use the red stone to lift her command. Now, with his full powers, PG started attacking his comrades. None of them could stand against PG. In a brutal move, PG plunged his hand into one of his comrades' body, completely destroying him. He also slit one of their throats in a fit of rage, killing all his friends. However, PG was in a terrible state now. Jack said that if PG didn't get the red stone, he would become extremely weak. But Mimi pointed out that if he did get the red stone, he would first try to eliminate them. So, they needed to treat him before anything else. At that moment, Mimi's father arrived in his truck, where they placed PG and started heading home. But the frightening part was that the warrior had already reached Mimi's house, disguised as a human, and no one recognized her. Her sole purpose was to kill PG by any means necessary. The warrior informed the family that she had come to take PG with her. Upon seeing the warrior, PG immediately recognized her as a very dangerous alien. He knew that if she took him away, she would destroy the earth as well. Mimi and her father didn't want PG to go with her, while Mimi's mother and Jack believed that PG couldn't stay with them and had to leave. Due to the intense argument, Mimi and her father took PG back to the factory where they had first met. Because of his deteriorating condition, they were attempting to treat him there. PG clearly told Mimi that they needed to stay away from that warrior because she had come to kill him and she would eliminate her too. At that moment, Mimi thought that since PG was in such bad shape, she should return the red stone to him. However, she told PG, "Please don't kill us. Just take the red stone and leave." But when Mimi looked in her bag for the red diamond, it was no longer there. Meanwhile, the warrior had drugged Mimi's mother by mixing something into her drink, turning her into an alien like herself. Now, the warrior had brought Mimi's mother and Jack to the factory, where PG lay seriously injured. In fact, it was Jack who had stolen the stone from Mimi's bag, and now he wasn't planning to give it to anyone. PG knew that as long as the stone was not in his hands, he wouldn't be able to fight the warrior. The warrior began to attack PG directly, and he couldn't hold his ground at all. However, Mimi didn't want PG to die, so she jumped in to stop the warrior. But the warrior, not trusting anyone, aimed to kill Mimi. Just then, Mimi's mother stepped in to fight the warrior. Even though she had transformed into an alien, she had to save her daughter at any cost. Seeing this, Jack and Mimi realized how dangerous the warrior was. So Jack handed the red stone to Mimi, who then placed it directly into PG's hands. With the red diamond, PG became much more powerful. He used his natural powers to grab the warrior, and both began to give each other a tough fight. PG created a large sword using bones and started thrusting it into the warrior's body. He gouged out the warrior's eyes and completely devastated her body. Finally, PG succeeded in defeating the powerful alien warrior. Everything returned to normal, but PG handed the red diamond back to Mimi because he no longer needed it. He didn't want to be that powerful anymore. PG understood that being extremely powerful wasn't necessary. What he needed was love and support, which Mimi's family had provided him. Now, PG opened a portal of his own and went far away. Mimi's entire family began to live happily again, enjoying their lives. Thus, our adventurous story comes to an end here.